Hello everyone, welcome to Python learning series for network engineers. This is the 7th video on how to do Nexus API automation using Python. In this video we'll see how to send configuration command using Nexus API, message format JSON and command type cli-conf. We'll see what are the error actions supported. Then we'll see how to send same request from Postman, and after that we'll see how to create a Python script for configuring the devices using Nexus API. And this format is Cisco's native JSON format, so this is having more capabilities compared to the standard protocol json-rpc to manage Cisco devices, because in json-rpc we were able to send only one command at a time. You can see one example here. If you want to send multiple commands, you need to add multiple IDs. We were not able to send it as a single line of command, and we were using JSON-rpc as a content type. After that we have seen how to send it using JSON. In JSON we were able to send multiple show commands as a single line of command. We have separated each command using semicolon. So same way we should be able to send even multiple configuration commands, and I'll be sending these 5 lines of commands. In between we have one error, so that we can see how to handle these error actions. Now to send this in same line, what we can do is we can separate all this each line with semicolon. In the previous video also I have showed a Python shortcut to replace this next line with the semicolon. I'll go to Python interpreter and I'll create a variable and s dot replace, and I'll replace the next line with space, semicolon and space. Now since this is 5 lines, it is okay. If you have more lines, you can use this method to add semicolon to it. Now to send this configuration, we can put it in this way and select JSON as message format and cli-conf, and before sending it we'll verify the device config, show run interface Ethernet 1/2, and now there is no configuration, and the default action is stop on error. That means after sending these 2 lines of commands, this is going to stop here because this is an error. So let us try sending it. So first 2 commands are successful, and after that it failed. Now if we verify the config, you can see this has added only this line of config. Now we'll reset the interface again 1/2, and this time we will see what is continue on error. Now if I send this again, even after the error this continued executing all the commands, and we can verify the device config. So now we have all the configs available, and we'll reset the interface again, and this time we will give rollback on error. and we can see the error, CLI execution error, and we'll verify the device config. So now there is no config, so that means it completely rolled back the config. Now if you want to try this from Postman, I already have a collection here, NXAPI-JSON. We can add a new request and I will call that as NXAPI-JSON-conf, and the method is going to be post, and URL is https the device IP/ins, and under authorization I need to add basic auth, username and password. So I have already added this in the environment, and if I click on this button I can see the username and password which I added. If you don't have password added as variable, so you can manually add it here. Once you have that, in headers you need to add content type application/JSON. Then under body, here you need to click on row, and we can go to the sandbox. Let me copy paste the entire content. I can copy this and paste it here. So one thing to remember is always this message is going to be post. I will save this. You can see here now NXAPI-JSON-conf is there. I will send it. The reason for this failure is the method is CLI. While taking this request, by default this was JSON-rpc. We need to change this to JSON and command type to cli-conf. Now we'll copy this request again. You can verify it here. The type is cli-conf and output format is JSON. We'll go to Postman, replace this and paste it. We'll try sending it again, and now you can see here we are getting success message for the first two commands, and by default the error action is stop on error. Because of that, this has stopped executing other commands. Now same way, if you want to change this to any other method, here you can give continue on error. So you can see here this has added even rollback. Copy this, go to Postman, we'll paste this content. We will try triggering. Before sending it, we'll verify the config. I'll send the config. So now this has sent all the 4 commands. We can verify the config in the device. Same way, if we do rollback, so only thing what we need to change here is rollback on error, and this will try to roll back the config if there is any error. Now if you want to get the Python script, what you can do is from Postman can click on code and you should be able to see the Python code. And here the payload is going to be same. You can see here INS-API rollback on error, and under headers here this authorization is basic and this value. This is nothing but the base 64 encoded value of username and password. So in our case username and password is admin. To see that, we can open our Linux terminal and we will try to echo the base 64 encoded value of username and password. So our username and password is admin and base 64. So you can compare this, these two are going to be same. So this is just encoding and keeping the value. Now to decode it in Linux, you can give echo and we will put the same string space base 64 and hyphen decode. So here we should be able to see the actual username and password, and here this is even adding the cookie. It is not mandatory if you are passing the username and password, but if you want to use the same session you can pass the cookie. So let me copy this entire script and we'll put this into PyCharm. We'll create a new Python file 06 I will paste it and we'll remove this cookie, and if we run this script as it is, we will get the SSL validation error, but the entire command is getting executed with this one line of input. So we will try running this. To handle that SSL error we have seen earlier, we need to give comma verify equal to false. Now we'll try running this. And to suppress this message also we have seen, you need to put this in the script. Now command execution is successful for 2 lines of commands, and then we had an error, so this will try to roll back the config. If you want to handle error codes, what you can do is you can add try except methods here to handle each exceptions. I have explained that in one of the video. In the third video I have explained how to handle some of the exceptions. I hope this video was helpful for you to understand how to send configuration using cli-conf method in Nexus API. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.